Hey everybody, it's Victor. It's time another Eden Run here, the Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance Plus series. Happy Thursday, Mosh Pit. Happy birthday to my best friend Justin, and also one day away from my birthday, which is tomorrow. 7 Foxtrot Sierra Romeo, Victor 9 Echo Kilo. I swear to God, we've had this seed before, man. We got Baby Plum, Fruity Plum, and Glass Cannon again, and also starting off here with Odd Mushroom, Fat Odd Mushroom to be exact. We've got decent tiers actually to start with, which is incredible. But what is not incredible is having Glass Cannon. Now, I've already spoken about Glass Cannon so much in the past month. I don't think that I need to rehash it again. So you already know what it does. Just know that the biggest danger of Glass Cannon is if we take damage while the cannon has a charge or has not been broken already, it will break, causing us double damage and being extremely dangerous. That's all you need to know. And then, of course, we have Fruity Plum, which is not going to do anything for us. I mean, she's fine. There's certainly nothing bad about her. You do need to be a little bit cautious with the way that she interacts with flying enemies, because she can get the jostle physics kind of going crazy. Oh, wow. I'm going to see maybe we can break through here. Actually, let's not be stupid. Let's just do this. Once again, we get a golden chest from the tinted rock. That seems to be a running theme lately at the back half. Oh, wow. There's another soul heart in here. Yeah, we've got to get rid of Glass Cannon. We have way too much HP to run the risk of it going kaput. Another bomb there. Unfortunately, we cannot get it. We get an orbital, which is not going to help us out. Now, this is doubly dangerous because we lowered our movement speed by taking Fat Odd Mushroom. So, need to be extremely cautious here. Why could we not get that key in the other room? Was it locked behind a bomb? Maybe I should have picked up on that. Definitely could use just 1 cent and we can get another soul heart. That would make me feel a little bit better. Yeah, we can't get that. I should have used a bomb there. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but didn't. And there's no fires in there. I know that there was one more. There was one room. Yeah, it was this room here. Let's go. I'm going to go check to see if there's any more fires. So we can at least... Secret room's to the left of there, by the way. So we can at least maybe get that last soul heart. Doesn't look like it's going to be possible. Yeah, so... Unfortunately, a misplay there. I didn't notice that we had 2 bombs. I definitely would have used it there to get that key. We're missing out on the golden chest, which could have who knows what in there. And the half-price soul heart. So, a little bit of a blunder there, but we move on. We go on to last week's question of the episode from Lunar Raven 12. We said, question of the day, which bosses like Mom, It Lives, etc. do you think you could beat with 2 full rows of HP and just base Isaac stats? Ooh, if we're going off of let's go off of endgame bosses, because I'm not going to list every single boss that I think I can beat it with. All right, you know what? It'd be faster for me to list the bosses I don't think I'd be able to do it with, or at least I would have a much greater chance of failing. Hush obviously would be absolutely horrific. Same with Delirium. And I do not think, even with Dogma, I don't think that I'd be able to do it against Beast. Mega Satan included. So the 4 big ones, I could definitely beat Lamb with base stats. And I mean, hell, I've done it before. The other, like Blue Baby, Isaac, I can definitely beat all of them with base stats. I've done it many times. That's old hat to me, but out of those, Lamb would definitely be the most challenging to do it with, but still definitely doable because, again, I've done it. But excluding those, Hush, I think I would give myself a 50% chance of doing it. Really depends on how locked in I am on the dodging. Mega Satan, I do not think I'd be able to do it. Same thing goes for Delirium. Delirium is the definite no. I do not think that I'd be able to do that. Let's go fight the boss now while we can, because I don't want to risk losing our HP here before going into the Devil Deal. We gotta be real cautious here with these everything against Limehorn. There we go. So Glass Cannon takes it out. We get another HP upgrade. And I am going to take Guppy's Paw here just to get rid of Glass Cannon. And I know. On the surface, it looks like Glass Cannon's carrying us, and there's no way. Why would you ever get rid of that? It looks good until it isn't. It's the Anna Kournikova. It's the AK, Ace King of this game. And if you don't know who Anna Kournikova is, basically where the term for the Ace King comes from is that it looks good, but it plays terrible in poker. Same thing goes for Anna Kournikova. I'm not the one who coined this. Don't get mad at me. But all the same, that's what Glass Cannon is. It looks very, very good on paper. It does the job. It gets you a lot of damage. You can do this. You can do that. It can one-shot most mobs, destroy mini bosses, that sort of thing. But once you take one hit of damage, you realize just the horror that you put yourself in. And it's real bad. Really bad. Secret room might be there. It kind of depends on what these rooms are going to show me. Yep, secret room's there for show. Decided to use a bomb there. It may have been a little bit wasteful. I might have been able to get the dodge around. But the thing is that our movement speed's so bad that I didn't really have a lot of confidence in that. And let's see what card this is. It's going to be a Justice card, which is going to get us into the shop. And who knows, maybe we'll make up for the blunder on the first floor. So yeah, those are the four bosses I don't think that Delirium, I give myself a 0% chance. Oh wow, there's Hive Mind too. Hive Mind would give us 2 or 3 for Beelzebub. Actually, no, it would give us Beelzebub. So this is flying. I forgot, we just picked up Infestation. So yeah, we get flying here. We do get our half heart. And man, that's huge. That's big time big. Early flying here and also friendly flies are very, very good. So the only thing we have to worry about now are, well, spiders. Pretty Plum getting in there, getting in the mix. Yeah, I'm not going to take Bloody Gust. Against Delirium, I give myself a 0% chance. Against Beast, I give myself a 1% chance. Hush, like I said, it's probably 50-50. And Megastatin, I give myself a 33.5%. Repeating, of course. The question, of course, coming in from last week's disaster run, which was is this the weakest Brimstone ever run? And someone pointed out that might be the first time Sinvicta's ever been unhappy about Brimstone. I'm always happy about Brimstone. And a lot of people were quick to demonize Skinny on Mushroom. At the time, of course, having the gift of hindsight, it's easy to say that. But you got to look at the there and now in Isaac when you're evaluating situations. What was the tone of the context there? And you got to remember, at the time, we got Skinny on Mushroom pretty early in that run, and we needed to have a Tears Up. So it was worth it for me to lower our damage to get a higher fire rate out of Brimstone. Now, of course, had I known that we were never going to see another damage upgrade for the rest of that run, obviously I wouldn't have taken it. You know, that's the part that a lot of people who love to play Mr. Hindsight leave out here. It's easy to look like a genius when you can say, oh, yeah, well, I mean, you should have left Skinny on Mushroom. You'd be amazed how often the Isaac community does that. But in the moment, we needed a Tears upgrade. Skinny on Mushroom provided that for us. Hey, we get the D6. Look at this. And we have the Hive Mind Beelzebub combo is just real nice. Especially when you're talking about having infestation too. If we end up taking damage, we're going to be getting a lot of retaliatory damage back in our favor. And Beelzebub's one of those transformations that you really don't hear a lot about. It kind of flies under the radar a little bit. You know, everyone of course knows Guppy. Even I would even say that people talk about Leviathan and Bob a little bit more than Beelzebub. But Beelzebub is great. It's probably, I'd say, the second easiest transformation to get outside of Leviathan. Leviathan's probably the easiest. I'm talking about ones that have flying. The easiest is probably the adult transformation. Spun is kind of simple too. You just have to get the syringe items, obviously. Wow, the quick duck there by Rag Mega. And we get a range upgrade. Just super, super awesome. So great. First the blind. If you're wondering where these dice are coming from, by the way, it's from the D20. Or it's from the dice bag. We have the D20 in here. And we get a world card. Hey, that was excellent. It can show me how to immediately get out of this Curse of Blind floor here. By the way, Hive Mind does increase the amount of damage that Fruity Plum does, which is a nice little bonus. Room is made trivial by us having flying, so is this one. It's like a lot of rooms, flying is always going to make things easier. I had somebody ask me if I'm ever going to change my policy on blind items in the chat, not that long ago. And the answer that I had was no. No. Now, if I don't care about winning, you know, or if I'm doing like a challenge run or something, then sure. But you know me. You know that I'm always going to be trying to win one out here. And blind items pose a very real risk and danger that I will not indulge. I'll not let the game try to screw me. And that wasn't just because I woke up one day and said, you know what, I'm not going to take blind items anymore. That is built off of many, many, many runs getting screwed with blind items in the past. So it's not just a bias that came out of nowhere and like I just wanted to be the most boring player type deal. No, it's built off of hundreds of different times getting screwed by blind items. So you know what? It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. You get complacent. You get okay with just taking one blind item in a secret room. Next thing you know, you get TM trainer and you lose. And I'm not gonna let the game beat me like that. Cannot believe this bombfly's been alive. We saw right there. We took a hit thanks to the contact damage of that hot bomb. You get a double deal here. Now we have a one guppy item. It is possible to get guppy items that are one heart. We Dark Princess Crown. Whatever. Game really is kind of tempting me here with these D4s. The dice bag will give us a glass die, which you can use once and only once. And I'm starting to get kind of tempted to re-roll this. The only thing that's stopping me is the fact that we have Beelzebub. Because we have gotten absolutely zero significant stat upgrades outside of add-on mushroom, which we took on floor 1, if you recall. We've gotten a range upgrade, which our range wasn't terrible. You'll notice that Beelzebub does not give you any immunity or friendly spiders. The D8 is also a possibility, but the D8 is also one of those things where I used to love it, and then it screwed me over one too many times, and it's just been blacklisted now. Now, once you leave the room, the glass die will disappear, and you will not get it back. It It's just a coincidence that we happened to carry it over this from one room to the other. Got the D6 in there, it didn't matter. If that was a golden chest, I would have definitely taken that opportunity, but if we do not get a damage upgrade or a tiers upgrade on this floor, I will reroll. Well, that's contingent on other things too, though. Because here's the thing is that we have My Shadow, and we've all seen the devastation that My Shadow can do. I would need to take a couple more devil deals before I'd feel a little bit more comfortable re-rolling this. I don't want to put myself in an even worse situation. Well, no, I don't have to because we got a tiers upgrade, thankfully. All right, now we need to build on this. The Soul of Eden, which is going to be a D6 and a D20. Better than the reverse strength card, which just gives us a double damage bonus, which sounds great, but it's not. Doesn't really work that well. I mean, it's not. There's no downside to it. It's just annoying. I'll get another world card. Let's go back to the shop. That is a very, very, very weird spot for the secret room. Yeah, so you see there, we just don't have the mobility to get through that gap. And without seeing a mini boss here, I think you know who's going to be in the shop. Ask me how I knew. There you go, Fruity Plum. Get in there. I mean, she's doing good damage. Like I said, the only thing that you really have to be cautious of is just the jiggle. You gotta be careful of the jostles. She shoots a flying enemy, and next thing you know, they're flying off into the stratosphere. You just gotta hope you're not in the way. Begrudgingly, I am going to go all the way down here to the secret room. Now, the Soul of Eden is going to be pretty important if we do get a devil deal on this floor. No, I was thinking about using a bomb to up our devil deal chance, but no, it's not worth it because I don't know how much HP we have. I think we have like 5 soul hearts right now. Maybe 5.5. With the D1. So what I can do is I can drop the Soul of Eden. Okay, well now it's gonna complicate things. We have 50-50 chance of duplicating the rune. And of course we didn't. Thanks to that random heart. And that's just Sinvicta luck, you know? It's those micro little issues of or situations of bad luck that I experience all of the time. It's like we had a plan. It was a great plan. We were going to duplicate a rune. Maybe we get a Dagaz rune. Maybe we get a Perthra rune. But then the game decides to drop a random red heart, and then it comes down to a surefire thing to a 50-50. And it's then, of course, another total failure. And the cycle begins anew. Be a D12 in here, which is not going to give us much, but maybe we'll get a fire. Yeah, well, I was hoping that it would be a fire that wouldn't be one that shoots me. Thank you, Fruity Plum. Unfortunately for Monstro 2, the flies that he's spawning are going to be on our side. Yeah, see right there, that little jostle that Monstro did, the little schmoove. We got another tiers upgrade, which is great. And that is not. Yeah, I think we're going to hold out for the boss rush. Now, boss rush becomes a little bit more important here. Boss rush allows us to get a chance, anyway, to reroll it with the Soul of Eden. I'm getting so tired of these random mega troll bombs going off instantly. It's old, game. It was old yesterday. It was old 2 years ago. With a D20, I will take the dime. My reflection would be good, but right now it's not the priority. Right now we've got to find the Fool card. We found it. Okay, so we're not going to be able to take the Eternal D6 into the boss rush with us because, well, we don't have starter deck. Or we don't have, you know, that one. Why can't I think of that trinket? Let's just have 2 pickups. It's escaping my mind right now. Ollie something. See, now is when the downfall of my memory truly begins. If I'm starting to forget the names of Isaac items. Now you know that I'm in trouble. The Halfheimers is really kicking in now. No. That was 1 full soul heart? So with that random 1 full soul heart drop there, we now cannot take a double deal item unless it's 9 lives. And this is what no damage upgrades look like. But we have my shadow helping us out a little bit here. But no movement speed, no damage. And, you know, we have the tears rate. Well, I say that. We have a tears rate. It's barely better than what I would consider to be bad. And we have missed boss rush. Now we're just trying not to die. Blue Mom was pretty much the worst mom that we could have fought here. Just because we don't have the damage to deal with all of the ads that she spawns. And yeah, it just keeps on coming. Yep. Okay, yeah. So next time we get... My shadow is not going to be enough to convince me to stay with this run. If we get my reflection, however, which we just did, then we might be talking. Oh, wow. Lead pencil, too. But my reflection changes everything, and so does lead pencil. Because now we have the damage. I will take the glowing hourglass, and I will also take Dreamcatcher to give us a little bit of survivability. And let's go see what's inside of the item room here. Now, if we re-roll the item room or the shop and we don't like what it re-rolls into, we can just use the glowing hourglass and say no thank you. But just look at the difference here. Again, our tears rate's not great, but look at the difference that just one item, one damage upgrade makes here. I'm not even referring to the help that lead pencil gives us. Okay. I mean, we gotta take it. Ace of clubs. I do want some bombs, so let's go back over here. Just looking for enemies on the ground, game. There's a tinted rock over there. That's fine. Now we all of a sudden went from 4.69 damage to 13.33 damage in the span of, what, 2 items? And our situation has changed drastically now. If we had this damage going into the mom fight, there is no doubt we would have beaten her without losing any HP and have easily been able to get into the boss rush.
Soul of Eden.
No, thank you. The Soul of Eden is a D6 and a D20, like I said earlier. And it's another unique feature of the Soul of Eden is that the rerolls that you do with it, they do not adhere to any particular loot table. They can be any item in the game. So you really want to make sure that if you're going to use the Soul of Eden, make sure you're using it in a room that has multiple item pedestals. If you can. If you're not in that situation, then obviously there's no way to force it, but all the same, try to maximize the potential there for the Soul of Eden. First the unknown again. Yeah, now the biggest problem here is the lack of movement speed. It's going to be extremely dangerous. We've got the damage now. What we do not have is the mobility or the HP. And HP has been a constant source of problems here on this run, but that is directly because of the fact that we have very, very, very bad mobility. Which I'm starting to honestly get to the point where if we get anything that gives us a movement speed down, I don't care what item it is, it's just off the table. Because we run into a lot of issues with mobility. Okay, we'll just find every dead end. We run into a lot of issues with mobility constantly because we take stuff like Fatted Mushroom, stuff like Small Rock. It's just, you know, Binge Eater is the only exception, I would say, to that. We're absolutely going to have to precast our lead pencil before the boss because we need to get that damage out. Seeing here is just how slow the shots are coming out here. That could be a source of their own problems. A D12, but unfortunately there's no rocks in here. It's weird seeing my reflection tears move so slow, but that's because of Eve's Mascara, obviously. That's a trade-off. Double Soul Heart in here is huge. And yes, I should have undone the damage of the first room that we had in here, the eye laser room. Again, the D8 is a possibility, but when I've played with a D8 before, it's just another one of those things where we just got burned one too many times for my liking. And if you think your movement speed's bad now, it can get a whole lot worse. It can get a whole lot better, but it can also get a whole lot worse. So if we do happen to take damage, I can punish with the Polaroid Invincibility and my Shadow. That's a really effective way of dealing damage. It's a great block by Ball of Bandages, by the way. I'm expecting to take some damage here against Chubb. So I'm going to allow one hit against Matriarch. It won't be surprising because she does that kind of BS, but also because of the lack of movement speed, yada, yada, yada. Have I mentioned that we have lack of movement speed? I don't think I have. Or we'll just beast mode it and just not take any damage. We get Squeezy here. No, it's not happening. No. I just got done talking about a game. Okay, we get Eye Guppy, which is the second Devil Deal, or second Guppy item here, so I am not taking Small Rock. It's not happening. I would have much preferred we just get soul hearts out of that. And let Pretty Plum do most of the work here, most of the heavy lifting. Get the D100, which is, again, that can be another disastrous item. Gotta be real careful with where the game puts those dice, because if you're not thinking, I mean, let's beat the boss first and see if we can get Guppy. This is the quintessential strategical R key run here. We are not going for our own mega run. That is, just get that thought out of your brain right now. That's a bad brain. Bad mosh pit. Bad. We needed something like R key to show up. Because now we get a second chance at everything except for boss rush and Hush, which didn't happen and it wasn't going to happen anyway. I mean, Hush could if we hurry, but I'm not going to fight Hush. Not with his movements. This movement speed is just, it removes so much possibilities away from this run. Look at that. First Hierophant cards, gonna give us 2 bone hearts. Probably shouldn't have taken them. Let's see if there's something in the vault. I definitely, I want to fill them up because I don't want to lose them. But they could be used for good bartering with the Devil Deal. Probably in the secret room. Hopefully the vault has something that's not completely useless in here, and it gets 2 soul hearts. That's good enough because that not only does that fill up 1 bone heart and partially fills the other one, but we also get a couple soul hearts to defend them too. So. This is a huge floor. This is the landmark floor right here. Okay. And the only reason why I'm doing this is because I want to get one final shot at a Devil Deal in the event that we do reroll. Which right now it's definitely on the table. I don't know what was up with that shot. It should have definitely hit Mom. Okay, so we didn't get it, which is unfortunate. But this is the perfect time for... I'm gonna be lazy. Perfect time for the quintessential R key, strategical R key, and we're gonna do it again. So the seed stays the same, everything stays the same, the timer still goes. It's just we get to start from the beginning again and keep all of our items. Golden Razor Blade, it gives us 5 cents, but I'm never going to use it. Voodoo Head's interesting here at the start, knowing that we have the survivability and damage now, and I am actually going to take Magic Fingers too. That could also be a huge benefit to us. Get a Golden Bomb. There we go. So we're starting over again with, but now with the added benefit of us having, oh my gosh, there's double tinted rock right there. Now with the added benefit of having items and flying, we just need movement speed now. So, oops. Yeah, and those flies are gonna be supercharged. We get HP again because of course we did. Yeah, so thanks to Dreamcatcher, we know that it's going to be teleporting there, and we don't care. Although we have a global D6, so we might as well just go ahead and roll it. Now, I don't know if it's going to roll the room if we haven't been in the room yet. And I know there's cardio coin over there, but I don't care. Now we're overflowing with HP. Here, I will acknowledge to stop anyone saying, you missed a cardio coin. There you go, I got it. Lots of golden chests, lots of sticky nickels. I'll take the battery. Battery. Okay, we get a damage upgrade from Stapler, and I will take the pentagram. Now, just for science, because I'm curious, we know that Dreamcatcher showed that it was either Golden Teleporter, like Teleport 2.0, or it was just the regular teleport inside of the item room. But the question is, do 4 rooms reroll rooms that we have not been into yet? Reroll item rooms in particular. We get Guppy, baby. Guppy Hive Mind. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We get the Gupster now. No, it doesn't. I had a sneaky suspicion that it wouldn't reroll a room that we hadn't been into already, but now you know. Now you know to always open doors that might have an item pedestal in it before you hit a 4 room. Oh yeah, we can't cancel this. It's a great feature of Dreamcatcher now. Which, that annoyance is enough for me to not want to take Dreamcatcher. Normally, these days, I just take Dreamcatcher in case if I know that we're kind of up against it for HP. Pandora's box. Yeah, we definitely need some shot speed for sure. Take some more tears. I don't think it's that much to just simply ask for just a movement speed upgrade, game. Movement speed's all I'm looking for here. I'm not gonna take the scam box. Take my half soul heart. Really showing you the power of Magic Fingers. I honestly think that we're not gonna we are just not gonna see a speed up. I think that's just, it's an impossibility at this point. There's telekinesis. Forsaken, who looks very dumbfounded. This is starting to feel like the game is purposely, deliberately not giving us a speed upgrade. It knows what we want. And I'm so tempted to hit this glass D8. I really am. But I've been burned so many times using the D8. That's never, it's almost never worth it. The only saving grace is that we would, if we D8'd into something really bad, we could still get another D8 from the dice bag. We just would not be able to take anything else in our trinket slot. We gained 20.58 range. We did gain a little movement speed, but certainly not a lot. I know that we don't have to go in the item room. Look how much faster we are, and we're still sub 1 HP. Or sub 1 movement speed. We gained 28 damage, or 28 range. Our movement speed's gone down, our tears rate went up, and our range went down slightly. dangerous here. But now our movement speed's even worse than it was originally. And we've lost the damage that we had. And that's the D8, man. I'm telling you, it's just never ever worth it. It does wacky things to stats, and when it does roll high, it's okay. And another HP upgrade. D8 gave us our damage back and movement speed. Hallelujah. I'm not gonna keep Guppy's head, but just take it to get it out of the. Well, I guess I can use the Soul of Eden in here. Yes, I will take the screw for more shot speed. The Titanic Bible, we can just use it once here just to get some HP back. I think the Ankh was in one of those item rooms, but we'll never find out. So Dark Prince's Crown also activated now. And I am content with these. I'm content with these stats here. So I don't think I'm going to roll again. I was able to get rid of all of our bomb flies before they hurt us. Honestly, I think I'm gonna drop Dice Bag now. There's been a couple occasions where I've almost D100 because the game puts the temporary die in front of your current pickup. The latest one being when that Ace of Diamonds just dropped and I almost hit it. But thankfully stopped before we got screwed by the D100. Oh yeah, got Voodoo Head. I'm gonna touch Magic Skin just to get it out of the pool, but I'm not keeping it or using it, obviously, as it is a garbage item. Magic Skin would be so much cooler if it just didn't come back on you. Like the sacrifice of giving up one of your permanent heart containers or a bunch of soul hearts. That's to me, that's already bad enough. I don't know why the item also has to just be like, oh well, if you drop me, I'm just gonna be right back, and the more times you use me, it just makes it just not worth it at all. I'm gonna take meat here for the damage. More damage is always gonna be better here, although that does ruin our Dark Prince's Crown. I believe that's common cold there. Now again, you'll notice that we do not have a reset on the clock, and that is because we used our keys, so we will not be able to get into boss rush. However, we still have a chance of finding something like Mama Mega, which could get us back in there. Get Luna again. Luna's going to give us a temporary tears up. I do not want Greed's Gullet. Thank you very much. Just being lazy here. Well, at least we can put some money back in our donation machine now. We've been kind of dinging it pretty hard lately. There we go. On the keeper, so we have a little bit more money to play with. What are you, devil card? We'll take it. There's the fool card, which we honestly don't need because we're not going to do boss rush. And you see how much damage we're doing with magic fingers. And it's just really supercharging our clear speed. So I don't have to put myself in harm's way. I don't have to wait for mobs to get in like optimal range. We just nuke them and that's it. Okay. Okay. So that is one of the biggest Isaac circles I think I've ever seen. I mean, we went all the way around the map. That is now. If that doesn't look like a Sinvicta map, I don't know what will. So we should be able to absolutely destroy Mom this time. And this time it's going to be Red Mom. And yeah, we get our revenge easily. And we fell to 78%. So, yep. The game has had enough. That's fine, game. Hey, you're the one who gave me the R key, all right? We suffered through bad movement speed, bad damage for a majority of this run. So you can throw in the towel, but I'm not. %. I have another animal rescue story today. I was going to the gym. This was last week, but I didn't tell the story yet. I was going to the gym, driving. On my way there, in the opposite lane, there was a turtle, just a common turtle. I don't know. It's like the one, like the red-eyed turtle, whatever. It's like the black turtles that you see in like ponds and stuff. Nothing rare or anything like that. But it was a decently sized turtle. I mean, it was big enough to where I could see it clearly from a pretty good distance away in my car. And it was in the middle of the road, of the left-hand side of the road. What in the world was that, Krampus? So, I almost, if I didn't have cars behind me, I was going to stop and like pick it up and then help it across the road. I simply could not, though. The opportunity did not present itself in a safe way. And I'm not about to get hit by some cars or get into a road rage incident because I was trying to help a turtle, but I swear to you, if I didn't have cars behind me, I absolutely would have stopped and helped that turtle. So the entire time I was working out, I was even on the phone with Papa Victa. I was like, dude, there's a turtle in the middle of the left lane headed to the gym. I must be getting soft in my old age because all I could think about at the gym was saving that turtle. I was like, please, and I was hoping and praying, man. I was like, please don't let me drive back home and see just a splattered turtle on the road. That would make me so upset. Because, I like turtles. And I'm not memeing here. I was like, I'm a big Ninja Turtles fan. I would never eat a turtle, even in a starvation situation. I mean, I wouldn't. What the hell just happened there? Oh my god, is that a speed upgrade? And, thankfully, there was not a turtle roadkill on the side, and I made sure I was looking like all around the area of where I saw it. I was looking in the ditches. I was looking everywhere, and I did not see him. So I would like to believe that he made it out, or someone stopped to help him. Because a turtle that size would have messed up your car, man. Like, maybe not a big truck or anything like that, but if you hit that thing in like a coupe or something, yeah, that was gonna do some damage to your wheels. I mean, it was a big turtle. So I was happy about that, and I was talking to Mama Victa about it too, and she said, you've always had a soft spot for animals, and I think that's because I used to want to be a marine biologist when I was growing up in Bermuda, and I have always kind of cared about animals. And I think that I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like if you wouldn't at least give pause to the idea of stopping to help an animal and make sure it just doesn't die on the road, I think that's honestly just natural, like kind of human instinct. I would think less of a person. I would actually think far less of a person if they're like, oh man, I hope that thing's destroyed, you know? I think that's what makes you human, is having compassion for animals. For animals. Just like that moth. Oh, that's right. That just reminded me. Speaking of the moth, there's a new spider in the house. She looks like Sissy. It's not her though, because this one's much smaller than Sissy was when she moved out, or wherever she went to. I think she's still in the garage. But this one is in a similar location. She's in a corner of, not my office, but in the hallway. And I gave strict instructions to anybody coming over. I said, hey, don't kill the spider. You know, let's see how long she stays around. And it feels good. Feels good to have a little companion here. In my forever alone state. I've entered my forever alone era. As long as she pays rent like Sissy did. I need a name for her, though. And no, I'm not going to name her Sissy. And no, I'm not going to name her Charlotte or anything like that. So we need a new name. Once we establish a name for the new Sissy, maybe I'll take a picture of her and share it on social media, or at least on the Discord. You got to be in the Discord, though. It's like I was talking about yesterday. Make sure you sign up either for the Patreon or for the paid memberships here on YouTube. They go a long way with supporting my channel. You get to use exclusive emotes in the chat when I do stream. And the biggest thing, of course, is that you do get to join our Discord. You just have to have your YouTube accounts and Discord accounts linked up and synced, and you should automatically be able to be granted access to the server as soon as you have an active subscription on either Patreon or Twitch or YouTube. But for clarification, when I say active subscription, I don't mean being subscribed to the channel. I mean the paid membership, and they're all normalized too. What I will say this, and this is just your good buddy Invicta giving you a little bit of a tip, a little bit of pointers. Do not subscribe to anybody if you're gonna do like paid memberships. Do not do it on the App Store or the Play Store, the Google Play Store, whatever. From your mobile device. Don't do it, because you're getting upcharged for the same benefits. And the last thing I want people to do is I don't want people spending more money than they have to on supporting like me. You know, don't give Google and Amazon, Twitch is especially bad about this, extra money for giving you basically the same service. Don't do it. Wait till you're at a computer, or borrow someone else's computer or laptop and do it from there. Just a little bit of a friendly advice from your good buddy Invicta. And thank you to those of you who've been maintaining the paid memberships as well through my downtime of not streaming on YouTube recently. I think our last stream was in, I think, January. So it's definitely time to come back soon. And like I said, when I do come back to streaming on YouTube, it won't just be exclusively Isaac. We'll be playing other games too. And hopefully you enjoyed it. And hopefully you enjoyed this run here, everybody. It was quite the adventure with the R key, but that was one of the most strategical R key situations that we've ever had the pleasure of being able to be in. And I'm glad that it showed up, because it definitely changed everything. So here's your meme of the day, which is for some reason rotated in the wrong direction. I'm not sure why. It's still, this is how it loaded on the screen here. Hang on a second. Nope. Hang on. You can't see it rotating, but there we go. Okay. And now I just got to center it here. Live editing. There we go. Here's your meme of the day, brought to you by Atlas Clear 170 on the Invicta subreddit, titled Meme of the Day number 507 in the Holy Brimstone episode. How I pour my coffee with revelation. In the thread, they said, how I pour my coffee with revelation, the church coffee hits different. I think I understand it to a certain extent, but I'm not sure why it's firing in reverse. Someone's gonna have to explain that one. So thank you very much, Atlas Clear, and thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and hyping here, everybody. And as always, I will see you all next time. Happy birthday, Justin. I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching this video. Like thanks to pages of mine like R5, Sebastian BT, and Bataloid. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Invicta.